The morning light of the frontier station shimmered against the reinforced glass, casting pale reflections along the metal corridors of outpost-verged humans were newly arrived on this edge of the galaxy, and most species still viewed them with suspicion, curiosity, or a wary mix of both. Among those skeptics stood Lyra, a tall alien commander with pale silver skin and a gaze sharp enough to cut through excuses. Her posture radiated authority as she paced the training deck. Caro, a human technician, drafted into a diplomacy assignment far beyond his comfort zone, stood opposite her. He wore a simple uniform, sleeves rolled up, toolkit clipped to his belt, an uncertainty flickering in his brown eyes. The alliance talks between humans and Lyra's people had stalled, and leadership hoped a practical demonstration of human capability might earn some trust. Yet Lyra doubted every claim the humans made. She distrusted their small size, soft bodies, and seemingly fragile nature. So when Caro attempted to explain that human problem-solving was quick, flexible, and reliable, her answer came out sharper than intended. She had said, "Prove it human," she said, and instantly regretted her. Remark the words echoed across the training chamber. A few soldiers turned their heads. Caro felt the room's temperature shift, but instead of reacting with anger, he simply nodded. He knew she had spoken from pressure, not malice. Her people were locked in a silent conflict with a faceless threat that had been hammering colonies across the sector. Every day they pushed deeper into fear and caution. He sensed that beneath her severe composure lay exhaustion. Caro stepped forward. "All right, Commander," he said calmly. "What do you need proven?" Lyra crossed her arms. Her voice lowered. "Your species claims you can work under pressure better than most. You claim to improvise solutions, even without proper training. You claim your instincts are reliable. Prove that now." She gestured toward a disabled flight simulator core at the side of the deck. "Fix that, do it fast, and do it without the correct tools." Caro exhaled. He already knew this was a test of more than engineering. It was a test of trust, a test of patience, a test of whether humans could actually contribute something meaningful in the battles to come. He approached the broken device. Panels were torn away, wiring was exposed like veins after a wound. Its control module blinked a dull red signal. He crouched and examined it. "This thing is ancient," he murmured. "Whoever last updated it must have hated the person using it." Lyra stepped closer. "We salvaged it from a damaged frigate. If we can bring it back online, we can use it for emergency pilot drills. Otherwise, we lose a whole week." Caro tapped the device. He had no diagnostic scanner. His kit lacked half the equipment needed, but humans had learned long ago how to repair machines in the dark with barely anything. He shut out the noise and focused. He identified where circuits were burnt. He smelled insulation that had melted. He traced data conduits with his fingertips. "This will take some time," he warned. "Time you have," Lyra said, but not much. Her tone was clipped, but the regret was subtle. She had not meant to challenge him like that. She had spoken too fast, too sharply. Now she waited, unsure whether she had demanded the impossible. Caro broke into a rhythm. He stripped wires with the edge of a metal tab. He repurposed a broken connector to stabilize a loose node. He fused a cracked board using heat from a small coil he improvised from spare filament. Soldiers gathered quietly, watching. One whispered, "Humans are strange." He could not decide if they are reckless or brave. Another responded, "Maybe both." Caro worked without raising his head. The machine slowly took shape under his hands. When he spoke again, his voice was steady. "Your diagnostics run on a parallel bypass. That is why your manual resets fail. I need to reroute power through the auxiliary feed, but the feed is dead. So I am building a temporary bridge." Lyra blinked. "You can do that manually?" He nodded. "Yes, we do field repairs like this often back home." He did not look up, but he could feel her doubt shifting. She observed his calm intensity. She observed the way he adapted one mistake into a new solution. She observed how he remained composed, even when the device sparked dangerously close to his hands. By the time he sealed the final panel, the machine hummed softly. Karo rose, face faintly smudged with soot. "Try activating it," he said. Lyra stepped forward. She pressed the core switch. For several breaths nothing happened. Then the simulator lights flickered, power surged smoothly. A stable blue glow filled the chamber. The soldiers murmured in surprise. Lyra stared at the machine. Her expression was unreadable. "You did this without tools," she said quietly. Karo shrugged once, not entirely. He glanced at the small improvised coil, but close enough. Her pride resisted yielding too quickly. But something inside her shifted. Her voice softened so slightly, only he could catch it. "It was good work. Better than I expected." Karo wiped his hands. "You gave me a challenge. I tried my best. The moment could have ended there, but fate rarely allowed." Silence at this outpost. A sudden alarm blared across the station. Red lights flashed, doors sealed automatically. A soldier shouted. Unidentified craft approaching, possible hostile strike. Lyra reacted instantly, moved to defense positions. "Karo, come with." Mesh ran toward the command deck with him close behind. Even as the alarms echoed, she kept replaying her earlier words. She had snapped at him. She had doubted him. Now they ran into danger together. The command deck screens displayed a rapidly approaching vessel, small crouch shape, sharp wings, energy signature inconsistent with friendly ships. Lyra clenched her jaw. "Enemy scout. If it transmits our location, the rest will follow." Karo scanned the controls. He had never been trained for combat operations. Yet he saw details the soldiers overlooked. He pointed that ship's energy reading is unstable. It is running on a damaged power core. Its sensors will be weak. If we hit its guidance array, it will crash harmlessly in the empty zone. Lyra turned toward him. "You can read enemy signatures." He nodded. "Once I studied common models for safety. Most scouts share similar energy patterns." Lyra looked at him long enough to understand that he was not boasting. He really had paid attention. He really did know things her people assumed he could not. Her earlier doubt stung her more deeply now. She snapped orders. "Target its guidance." The gunner hesitated. "Commander, our manual calibration is offline. We cannot achieve a stable lock." Karo stepped forward. "Can I try?" Every officer in the room stared at him. Lyra stared longest. She saw no arrogance, only determination. "Do it," she said. He approached the targeting console. It was unfamiliar. Alien script filled the display, but he recognized the structure coordinates. Angle, velocity, energy output. He recalibrated the interface manually. He adjusted timing by instinct. He compensated for drift. The gunner whispered. "How did he do that?" Karo fired. A single beam shot across the void. It struck the hostile scout's guidance. Fin. The ship spun wildly, then drifted into empty space where its power core shut down safely. The alarm fell silent. Soldiers cheered. For the first time since humans arrived, the room glowed with genuine admiration. Lyra's chest rose and fell as she looked at him. Her earlier remark now weighed heavily. She approached him slowly. "Karo, your people, your skills, your instincts." She hesitated. She rarely hesitated. "I was wrong to doubt you." Karo shook his head. "You had every reason to question me." "Trust is earned." Her gaze softened. "You earned it today, more than I expected." The crisis passed, but the atmosphere inside the command deck remained changed. Lyra walked beside him through the corridor. She no longer kept the rigid distance she had before. She spoke quietly. "Earlier when I challenged you, I spoke without thinking. The pressure of these months has been overwhelming. It was not fair to put that weight on you." Karo gave a tired smile. "It is fine. Sometimes humans say things they regret too." Lyra looked forward. Her steps slowed. "Still, you proved more than your skill. You proved your character. You faced doubt with calm. You faced danger with reason. You acted when others hesitated." Her voice lowered to a near whisper. "That quality is rare among my people." Karo rubbed the back of his neck. "Thanks means a lot." They reached the hangar windows. Stars stretched endlessly beyond the transparent shields. Ships moved like drifting embers. Lyra stood beside him. Your actions today changed something, not only for me, but for the entire outpost. You showed that humans bring something we lacked. Not strength, not technology, but resilience, he replied. Every species has strengths. We just tried to contribute ours. She looked at him again, the sharpness in her gaze had softened completely. Caro, earlier, I said prove it human. It was a careless remark. One I regretted the moment it left my mouth. But you did prove it, and more than I asked. He gave a small laugh. Glad I did not disappoint. Her tone grew almost gentle. You did not. You exceeded it. The quiet moment stretched. A rare peace settled over the hangar, but the galaxy beyond remained hostile. Before either of them could speak again, a message flashed on the display near the window, a long-range warning. From a distant patrol, enemy fleets gathering movement toward their sector. Caro watched Lyra's expression freeze. She inhaled deeply. Responsibility returned to her shoulders like armor. We will face harder days, she said quietly, and we will need every capable mind we have. Caro nodded. I am here. Tell me what you need. She turned toward him fully, her voice filled with conviction. I need you to stay at my side, not as a technician, not as a subordinate, but as someone I can trust, someone who has proven his worth, someone who sees solutions where others see failure. Caro blinked. That is a lot of faith. Faith you earned, Lyra said. From that day forward, Caro became a core member of her command team. He worked on ship systems Revi,